Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're presented and hosted by Hyland's. Stop your cramp, not your race. By Polar, check out the Polar Advantage M and the Marathon Edition. And UCAN, perform, workout, energize. Our guests from Team Hyland's, Dr. Jeffrey Krebs and Mary McDonald. How you guys doing?
Great.
Great. Hi, Bob.
And you guys both did Kona Ironman World Championship last year. You guys traveling together? What's the deal?
No, we didn't even know each other.
That is so fun. So you guys are part of the Healers, Hyland's Healers group. How fun has it been being part of Hyland so far?
It's been an amazing experience.
Aren't they special?
Yes.
Hyland's has really spoiled us.
They really do, don't you?
They really have. They've really created quite a great team. And honestly, I look at all of my fellow healer teammates as brothers and sisters now.
Yeah.
We're a family.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you've done a lot of travel and a lot of different groups, training with different groups. And so you'd be a good person to evaluate how well Hyland's is treating people.
Best experience ever
Wow.
for any race, honestly.
That is very cool. Now, Mary, how did you get into all this? Because were doing Ironmans back when I was doing them, back in the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
What got you into all this stuff?
My brother. He kind of tricked me into doing one.
Really?
And, yeah. Way back down in Texas in the early 80s. He convinced me to do one on a borrowed bike that didn't fit. And I swore I'd get him back, and I did later. But then I continued on in triathlon.
The next thing you know, your first Ironman was 87?
Yes. Yeah.
And what was that experience like?
It was amazing. It was just like it changed my entire life, really, because it really affects your self-confidence and how you see yourself as an athlete, and gives you so much more motivation to continue on.
And you're a pediatric nurse?
Nurse practitioner, yes.
Nurse practitioner,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
But working with kids?
Yes.
How special?
I love it.
How long have you been doing that?
35 years. Longer.
And what is the best part of working with kids?
I think just interacting with them and seeing them get better. And kids are amazing because when they feel better, they're playful and they're happy, and they're fun to work with, and just play with them.
And Jeffrey, you're a physician, obviously. You've only been running for how many years?
About 5 or 6.
That's unbelievable to me. I mean, I thought you've been in this stuff forever because I've known you for the last 6 years, and every race I go to, you're at.
Well, and we knew each other from CAF days when I would do the $1 Million Challenge ride.
The bike ride.
I was a pure cyclist for many years.
I didn't know that. I thought you were all doing triathlon and stuff back then, but no, it was all cycling then.
Yes, and by chance I had some metabolic studies done, and at age 52, I was diagnosed with osteopenia.
Huh.
And I did not want that to progress to osteoporosis, so my cycling coach at the time told me that I needed to lay off the bike 1 day a week and start running. He had me start running with a group of triathletes. Leslie Patterson was one of them.
Ah, yes.
Because we had the same cycling coach.
Right.
And turns out I was actually a pretty good runner.
Yes, you are.
And after that, some members of the triathlon group really suggested that maybe I try triathlon, and I had never learned how to swim when I was a kid.
That's hard as an adult.
It was very hard. I went the next day, signed up at the YMCA, hired a private coach, and started learning to swim, and my first triathlon was the ITU Olympic in San Diego 2 months later after my first swim lesson.
And getting into open water with basically being in a blender with people hitting you in the head is not a lot of fun when you're just learning this new sport.
Frightening.
Jeff, what do you look at of over the years of the different races you've done? What's been your favorite experience in terms of running experience?
Well, I have to say that this is my 4th Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
And pure running experience, Boston has to be it. I've done some great races over the last several years, but the crowds here, the camaraderie, there are 35,000 runners, but it seems like it is one big family. And then this year, it's even better so far. And I haven't even run the marathon because Hyland's really put together such a great team. And over the last several months, we've all become colleagues, friends. family members, and so it's been a great experience.
And you guys hadn't met except online, right?
No,
That's right.
Most of us are meeting today for the first time.
Today's the first time you're meeting, but you
Yeah.
feel like you've known these people forever.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And I mean, you've run Berlin, Chicago, London, you've been to Kona, but running the Boston Marathon is unique and special.
As far as pure running races, Boston is amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, Kona is very, very special. And my first Kona experience in 2016 was beyond my wildest expectations.
That's so cool. So, Mary, do you remember your first Kona experience?
Oh, yeah.
What was that like?
I think just coming down the finish line chute, it was just, the sun was just going down, and you could see the bright lights from all the television cameras, and the crowds are just unbelievably loud even back then. And I mean, I still, when I go back to amazing experiences, that's kind of like number one on my list, was that first finish line at Kona.
And now, are you still doing triathlon?
I am, yeah.
Because you did Kona last year.
Yeah.
How many Konas have you done now?
5.
And you're trying to go back in 19?
Yeah, not 19. I had a little accident this year, so.
Oh, what'd you do?
I fell and broke my arm.
Fortunately, you got healers here.
Yeah, absolutely.
To help you out.
Absolutely.
If you're going to fall, that's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. You didn't do that
Exactly.
here.
No.
Okay.
No, did about a month ago.
But you'll run in that on Monday.
Yes.
I mean, nothing like that's going to slow you down. Now, have you done Boston before?
I did it about 35 years ago.
Oh, my God.
So,
35 years ago,
Yeah.
and you're coming back.
Coming back, this is going to be just amazing. As being part of the Hyland's team is just like supercharged the experience.
35 years ago, Boston wasn't quite Boston yet in terms of numbers. Or was
No,
it?
it wasn't, but it was still the kind of very iconic race.
Yeah.
You know, it was still very special, but I think I have a different perspective on it this time, and it's going to be amazing.
Are the kids that you work with, are they watching? Do they know what's going on with you?
No.
You don't
probably
share
not.
that with
No,
those guys.
No.
And Jeff, the other triathlons, because you've traveled with triathlon, correct? What have been some of the other events that you've done that have really impacted you?
Well, I did Ironman Mont Tremblant last year and the year before.
Yeah.
And that is a very special race. I just got back 3 weeks ago from New Zealand. I did the 70.3 Ironman in New Zealand there in Taupo, and that was
Special.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very well run. And I think what makes these races very special is that the communities really embrace the triathletes. They embrace the race. They love having us there, and they really make us feel welcome. And that really adds to the experience.
Right. Jeff, how does what you do as an athlete help you as a physician?
Well, I'm a big proponent that a sound body and a sound mind are very important, and balance is very important. And I think that I'm always advising my patients to eat better, to exercise more, to be more mindful of their daily activities, take care of themselves. And by my participation in endurance sports, I feel like I really am practicing what I'm preaching, and it makes me understand and realize the challenges. I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me to eat well all the time and to exercise and to fit it into a full-time medical practice. So it helps me to understand the challenges that my patients have.
And have any of your patients reached out because they know that you do this type of stuff and asked for a little advice and gotten into this?
Yes, they have, and I'm very honored when they do. They pretty much all know that I train and race pretty much full-time.
Yeah.
And it's nice when they do reach out and ask me for nutrition advice as an athlete.
Right.
Or training advice. And I'm one of the members of the triathlon club in my medical group.
Oh.
And we really help spread the word of triathlon, not just amongst our colleagues, but also our patients.
So, Mary, for you, the rest of this year will be what?
We'll see if I can get back into triathlon for the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a while until I can get back on the bike.
And that was that from a bike crash?
No, it was from running. I fell while I was
You fell running?
Yes.
You're supposed to tell people you fell riding your bike.
I know,
That's a
that
little
sounds a lot more
sexier.
dramatic,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
that was very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you got attacked by something.
Oh, there
That's
you
not
go.
a
Yeah.
bad thing either. Thank you both for taking time and
Thank
coming on and being part of Hyland's Healers Group. I love, last year we had the teachers and the stories of all of you guys. It's just so much fun. And I love how all of you guys are giving back. You're using your athletics, then you're giving back to the people you work with. It's very special.
Thank you.
It was an honor to meet you.
An honor to meet you
and to
as
be
well.
part of Hyland's team.
Love it. Again, Bob Babbitt here at Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back.